Right past there, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that for all of these sites?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
so who are you? Sorry, you haven't even got a badge on.
Security.
You're security, okay.
Yeah, so, and you haven't got any pass to go on this site either, love. So it's private property. If you want to go over near the gate, please.
Just over by the gate, alright.
Yes, thank you.
Just before I go over, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around.
No, you're not.
Get some videos.
No, you're not. It's private property. Which part you don't understand?
No, I mean past that way. Past.
You're not allowed to. You've got to ask permission for it. It's still private property.
I'll be on public land though, filming private property. Is that okay, yeah?
Why are you recording?
That's because I've just said I've come down here to do a bit of a...
You want to go to the gate first before we carry on?
Yeah, okay then, yeah. What we up to you getting the boundary, your gate and stuff, and then I'll explain to you what I'm doing, yeah?
As the auditor crosses the barrier, a security guard confronts him, insisting he leave because it's private property, but she isn't wearing the required SILE badge, a legal requirement meant to ensure accountability in UK security. Then escalating, the auditor steps back and continues the conversation from a distance, highlighting a common double standard. Security staff often demand compliance from the public while overlooking rules they are supposed to follow themselves.
Delete this?
Yes, because
Why?
it's private property, you didn't ask permission for us to do it. So can you please delete it?
I'd rather not. I'm not going to delete it.
It's your choice. You either do it or I'll phone the police. Your choice.
Well, listen, I'll just tell you what I'm doing and then you can decide whether or not you want to call...
You come on a site which is private property. Now I've asked, because you've not asked permission of the property people to record. You've come onto the site and recorded without any permission. Now you've got a choice to either record and delete that or contact the police.
Can I just explain to you then, before you contact the police, what's going on, yeah? What I'm doing is I'm just going to have a little walk around the perimeter and film the private land from public.
Well, you haven't done, have you? You just come on here, onto private property and recorded it.
Yeah,
so I'd like you to delete it, please.
Yeah, but that's because you've asked me to leave, so I'm leaving now, yeah?
No. Would you walk onto anybody's site? Did you think it was private property? It's not. There's a reason why these gates are here and the barrier's here. So please, can you delete that footage? The beginning of you walking onto the site, can you please delete it? If you don't, I will contact the police.
Her demands have no legal weight. And trying to enforce a rule that doesn't exist shows a clear misunderstanding of UK photography laws. In the UK, taking photos or filming private property from public areas is allowed unless specific legal restrictions apply, and only a court can order footage to be deleted. GDPR applies to organizations, not individuals filming for personal or journalistic purposes. So her threat to call the police is just a scare tactic, revealing how misinformed and poorly trained she really is.
Barrier there then? Why is the barrier there? Is it there just to be just for show? No.
It's for vehicles.
Right, no it's not. It's for people like you, and that's why the gates are here. If you were coming onto this site, you'd walk through these gates. You haven't. For one, you've not asked permission to record anybody on this site, including me. So, I advise you to delete it off before I get the police involved. You've not written to this company to ask them to do recording.
Do I have to write? Why would I have to write?
You just walked onto this site thinking you've got rights to do. You have not.
Can I just say, don't get the police involved because there's no crime being committed.
There is. It's trespassing. No. You've come onto this property as trespassing, which is a civil suit at the end of the day, but you are recording against the company's policy.
Yeah, it's civil, that's what I mean, so you wouldn't ring the police, would you?
You are recording against a company's policy.
Yeah.
For one, you have to ask if you can come on this site and if you can go onto that side, which is private property.
The auditor was filming on private property, which the security guard says breaks company policy. But company rules aren't law. Such policies apply only to staff or visitors who agree to them, not to the general public, and the auditor hasn't. Even she admits that trespassing is a civil matter, meaning police can't act unless a real crime occurs, which hasn't happened. Her repeated references to company policy seem like a desperate attempt to make her demands seem legal, but they carry no authority outside the business.
Right? But you need to go and find out what your legal rights is. At the end of the day,
I know.
You might come, you don't.
I do know.
You don't. A lot of people think they do, they don't. Right? I've been doing this for years. I know the legal sides. Okay? So one, it's private property.
Yeah.
This is council property. That's council property. come over to this gate, you come over that gate, it is private property. That's the reason why I am here.
Okay.
Now, I've advised you, and I've said it 3 times now, you either delete that footage that you recorded when you're coming on this site, or we will have to inform the police. What have you done?
Please don't ring the police, because there's been no crime committed. Trespass is civil, isn't it? The police don't get involved.
Matter. It's still private property. Whether it's civil or whether it's public or whatever way, it is still trespassing.
Yes.
You have not got taken permission on the company to come on this.
The auditor had already left when confronted, so there was no crime for police to address. If officers arrived, they'd either have to explain to the guard that no offense occurred or try to involve the auditor without legal grounds. This situation highlights a bigger problem: businesses misusing police resources over personal disputes instead of real crimes. Tying officers up unnecessarily when the issue could have been avoided if the guard understood her limits.
You've asked me to leave and I've left, haven't I? So,
Well,
so there's no. So
I'd
there's
like you to delete that, please. Because we've not given you permission to record me, record this site, and record this wagon coming on site.
Okay, but what you're saying, just let me speak then. So what you're saying is I have to delete this. So you are saying you know the.
Delete the area if you're coming up here. From there onwards, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, you know the law.
You are on a public footpath, like you've said to me. You are on a public footpath, and you're taking photos, but still has to ask permission to come on site. You walked on site, which is trespassing. You can ask any police officer you like. I used to work with the police, so your choice.
What did you used to do part of the police?
I'm not telling you.
Right,
I'm not telling you.
That's really
it's
interesting.
Your choice to delete you walking into the site.
Have you got a license for your drone?
What kind of license do you need for a drone?
You need a license to come over a private company. You've got to have our permission to fly a drone over our company.
You're saying I'm not going to fly the drone?
Yeah.
You're wrong then. You're wrong. Because I'm definitely going to fly that drone.
No, you're not. If I get the police, I will bring the police.
Another misinformed guard tries to challenge the auditor's drone flight, wrongly claiming a license is needed to fly over private property and threatening to call the police. Under UK drone laws, pilots don't need landowner permission if they're not taking off or landing on private land and follow CAA rules, so the flight is completely legal. The guard's claims have no legal basis, and when police later arrive, one officer focuses more on her feelings than the law once again, confusing real regulations with personal frustrations.
I'd rather not give my name.
I mean, it's just politeness, because I'm PC Hayes and this is my colleague, PC Greenhouse. So
PC Hayes, PC Greenhouse, yeah.
So what's your name?
I'd rather not give any names, if you know what I mean. I'm just out flying my drone, that's all.
We're asking you your name because we need to ascertain details, because then I can say I've spoken to you, you've told me exactly what's happening, and then I can close the log, but at the minute I don't know who you are.
Yeah. You don't need to know who I am. Are you recording, by the way?
It's always
right, you're supposed to tell me before.
No, we don't have to say it. It's always on for
Look it up in your policy, love. Look it up in your policy. I'm recording. I don't need to tell you I ain't got a policy. You've got a policy. Because you're a data handler. You handle GDPR. I can request a copy of that. Yeah. So, but I would request a copy if I didn't know you were recording. It's because anyway.
Many officers claim, we don't have to tell you about body-worn cameras, but that's false. The College of Policing requires officers to inform people at the earliest opportunity unless safety or an active investigation is at risk. This repeated failure points to poor training, as proper education would prevent these breaches. Ignoring the rules sends a clear message that police accountability is treated as optional rather than mandatory.
So yeah, I'm just flying my drone. I'm out flying my drone. You don't need to know who I am, you don't need to know what I'm doing, you just need to know I'm flying a drone, that's all.
I know, but obviously there's a business there, so you flying a drone is obviously making that business feel uncomfortable, isn't it? Because he doesn't know who you are or why you're doing that. You could be a security risk to that business. He doesn't know you, does he?
Well, yeah, you've come and spoke to me now anyway, so Yeah, I'm just. If you just let him know, I'm here flying a drone, and that's it really.
Right. Well, can you move on somewhere else away from the business?
I won't be moving on anywhere else. This is public land. Don't ask me to move on. That's ridiculous.
At the end of the day, you're making him feel.
I don't know who you think you are, though, turning up like this and just telling me to move on. Don't tell me to move on.
This is a clear case of poor policing. Instead of enforcing the law, the officer tries to remove the auditor simply because he makes others uncomfortable. The auditor has every right to be there, yet he's treated like a problem. Policing should follow laws and facts, not feelings, and allowing people to be forced out of public spaces over personal complaints sets a dangerous precedent, where legal actions can be blocked for no reason other than someone's discomfort.
I'm not doing it aggressively.
I'm not having a go. I'm just saying, don't tell me to move on.
I'm not doing it aggressively. I'm asking you politely that you're making him feel insecure because he's not aware of who you are. You're not even telling me who you are.
I'm not going to tell you who I am because I don't need to. There's no law.
So you don't know who you are. That is a business. He's there for security purposes, and you're outside flying.
Can I just remind you both that you're here to uphold the law? You've got to go by laws. Yeah, you can't.
Absolutely, and I'm not breaking any law.
Yeah.
The auditor points out, "You're here to uphold the laws." But the officer deflects, saying, "I'm not breaking any laws," missing the point. The issue isn't her personal compliance, but her failure to enforce the law properly. Focus on appeasing the security guard instead of protecting the auditor's rights highlights a broader problem. Too often, officers prioritize satisfying complainants over applying the law fairly and consistently.
Then
To you.
I'll reset relations a little bit. Just don't ask me to move on. It winds me up, does that? Because I'm studying public land now, just doing a legal activity.
That, but if you just go a little bit further down there, away from the business entrance, you're not going to make him feel uncomfortable, are you? You can appreciate though that without their permission, it can make them feel a little bit uncomfortable because they don't know why you're here, do they?
Well, the thing is,
if you get permission to do that, then I'm sure they'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, the thing is, one, I don't need to, but two, sometimes I do. But the thing is, what happens is that guy first came out there. He came out, and instead of just coming up to me and talking to me and saying, "Hiya, what are you doing? How are you flying a drone?" and all that kind of stuff, he ran up to me with a strobe light flashing at me, saying, "I've called the police on you," and that's that. And then he run back in his hut, turned all lights out. So at that point, I'm thinking, well, what do I do? Do I go down and say to him, "Don't worry, mate, it's just a drone"? You know what I mean?
Because potentially he's quite scared because he doesn't know who you are or what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So he's in fear, and you can understand that, can't you?
This incident highlights poor communication within the security team. If the day shift knew about the auditor, the night shift should have been informed to prevent confusion. Instead, the unprepared night guard overreacted, wasting police time and escalating a situation that didn't require intervention. Better coordination and a clear understanding of legal boundaries could have resolved the matter calmly and professionally, without involving law enforcement.
Cause fear. You can't cause fear by turning up on a public land and flying a drone.
Anybody can cause anybody fear.
I know, but from a legal standpoint, I'm
we
saying.
all have our own emotions and our own feelings. And everybody can make anybody feel unfair, and that's clearly what you did. Yeah.
Well,
you made him
from a
feel
legal
unfair.
standpoint, I haven't created fear or anything like that. From a legal standpoint,
For him, yeah.
A lot of people phone the police when you fly a drone over the premises, but it's because they don't know the law.
They don't know you. They don't know that you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they don't know what your interests are. You've just told us you're interested in buildings, you're doing nighttime shots, and now you've just told my colleague you've got a YouTube channel. But they don't know that. And this is, I'm not saying it's the same person.
Yeah, he never asked. Yeah, but
within the last 4 days, we've had 2 calls about people flying drones here. So just because it's so close together, it's going to spike a little bit of concern.
If somebody's going to break into that and potentially cause damage, it's going to make a massive effect on the whole area, isn't it? So they have to be very aware. So if they don't know you're coming, they don't know what you're here for, do they? So it's going to make them feel a bit sort of worried, especially when it's a chemical place.
I don't want to do something wrong by you and act on something or say something or do something when I don't know it's right.
Well, the thing is, what I try to do is I try to avoid detaining arrests, so I can let you know if you needed to know anything. But I will let you know today's flight has been 100% lawful.
Right,
that's fine. We just asked for your name, just so we knew who you
At the end of the day, I appreciate that, but just as a person, it made him feel a bit sort of frightened for him to phone us. So just be aware of other people, do you know what I mean? And get, you're not doing anything illegal. You can't control somebody's feelings. And at the end of the day, if he's there for a security purpose, it's going to make him feel frightened because he don't know who you are. Yeah? Maybe before you do it, go and speak to him and explain to him why you did it.
It was the business and security staff's job, not the auditor's, to brief the night guard. Their failure left him confused and calling the police over nothing. The officer made matters worse by shifting responsibility onto the auditor instead of holding the staff accountable, showing once again that emotions were prioritized over enforcing the law.
And then he will say, yeah, that's fine, I'm aware of it, it's okay, I'm not threatened by it, that's alright, but at the end of the day, he doesn't know what's going on. Yeah?
But yeah, just have a quick word with him, put his mind at rest, and then, hopefully he'll be a bit happier, won't he?
Yeah, essentially.
We'll speak to him though, because obviously,
Go on then, let's go speak to him.
It may well be that we'll go on our own. It's fine. Just not cause any issues, but we'll go and speak to him, and we can put his mind at ease that we've had a conversation with you.
Okay then.
Okay?
Go on then.
Leave you to enjoy the rest of your night, sir.
Excellent, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
This incident highlights serious failures by both the business and police. Instead of focusing on the law, officers spent their time managing the guard's emotions, while poor communication left the night guard unprepared and panicking, leading to an unnecessary police call. The auditor, who broke no laws, was treated like a problem. And police validated misplaced fears instead of clarifying the facts. This wasn't just a communication error. Exposed a systemic issue where emotions are prioritized over legal rights. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like, comment, and subscribe to support independent coverage. And check out Northern Audit's channel linked in the description.